So how many guitars have you brought? Diddley bows?
I brought a few. I brought 5 diddly bows. I built 38 of them since November. And there's a few that I brought. I'll start with this one. This is a piece of wood that I got from a buddy's garage, scrap that was probably just going to get thrown away. I stained it, put a little knob on here from a dresser drawer so it like carry it by, you know. I got a soup can here that was built by a guy on eBay that put a little microphone in here. You plug in and amplify the string here. And I cut the wood and put an open gear tuner on here so you can tune to your any note you want to pretty much within the string's range. And then I'll play this thing here a little bit later. That's pretty much your traditional style diddly bow, is just a plank of wood with some kind of bridge on it to amplify it. In this case, it's amplified with a pickup, so for an amp. And I'm pretty proud of this thing because it's pretty much cost me nothing to make other than the soup can off eBay. And I mean, if you have any knowledge of building anything, you can make your own pickup in a soup can with a piezo transducer and just seal the can up with one of them soup can resealers. Wherever you get those at, I could probably do it myself too. But just cut it down, a little craft. It's just a little crafting, just get your jigsaw out and a piece of wood you're not using, put a string on it. It's got a little eye bolt for to hold the string on this side. I mean, ain't nothing to it, but there's a lot of sound to them. And this one here, I call it my main plucker just because it's awesome. It's a cigar box from the 60s that just made it through. It's pretty good shape. I bought it from a fella. And it's a dowel, half of a 4-foot dowel from Menards. I stained it up. I have a hose clamp on here for the nut on most of my diddly bows. Sometimes, like this one here, I have a drumstick cut down to size for the nut, and I always buy bulk and tuners so I can get a good price. So I got the same tuners for every diddly bow. Whatever string you choose to put on here, you can go in that range. Back here you drill a hole for the string to go through. I put a pop rivet cap in there so it don't pull through the wood. And a nut and bolt bridge, just a nut and a bolt from the True Value store. I got a, hole grommet, 1-inch hole grommet that's for electronics, for the acoustics hole. And I got some strap knobs from the local music store. Midwest Music, by the way. North Fork, Nebraska. That's where I get most of my supplies. They're awesome. Chad Barnhill's an awesome dude, so is his employees. And the strings, I get a good deal there because I buy so many of them, I think. Other than that, man, these things are pretty easy to make. If you have YouTube, which you might have if you're watching this, get on there and type in diddly bow. And you'd be surprised at the amount of videos available for the diddly bow genre. There's not many people around that do diddly bow music. I'm pretty much the only one in this area, I think. I have a few friends online that do the same thing, but they're from Brazil and Australia and stuff. So, I mean, Justin Johnson, he's famous. He's known as the king of the diddly bow, and Shane Spiel is really known for the diddly bow. One String Willie, and then you got your blues pioneers like Lonnie Pitchford and who's that other? Not B.B. King, but oh God, the blues. This is the godfather of the blues guitar. So I mean, all the blues greats started out on a diddly bow. Muddy Waters is who I was thinking of. Excuse me for forgetting. But then I put a piezo transducer from Radio Shack inside. I glue it up, wire it up to a 1/4-inch jack so you can amplify it. It's a really easy an inexpensive way to make an instrument. This thing, I mean, each individual instrument cost me anywhere from $3 to $20 on average, including the strap, which is about $12. You know, I got $30 into each one, and you know, I played this last time I was here, and it's just still rocking. It just they're you build them and they just play. You know, this one here is a little different. I got the strap knobs on there, of course, for the straps, and a little different. I don't know if this is called a string feed or not, but it's what the string goes through. It's one of my dog tags from one of my dog's collars that I got from the vet. It's screwed in there and glued in there, and it's what my string goes through. And nut and bolt bridge and the piezo and transducer and the jack. This is a cigar box, an acid cigar box from the local cigar shop. I had to buy them, but it's cool. Had an idea for a neck to make it more of a flat neck on this one, and I found this awesome axe handle at True Value in my hometown and cut it out in my jigsaw and then screwed it up, and it matches the color perfectly with the box. I never had a stain except for right here. I chiseled out a little groove for the nut to fall into. And I got that eye bolt for a string tree, and then that open gear tuner off eBay. And this thing, I'll play it here in a second. It sounds different, but it's a cool diddly bow sound. All diddly bows have the certain sound, and they'll never be as loud as a regular acoustic because they're just not made for acoustics. A cigar box ain't. Okay. This was the first electric one I ever made, and it's got strap locks on it. It says just these lock on there instead of just being put on. If I can get close to the camera here, this one here is made out of a Hobby Lobby balsa wood box. And the dowel from Menards, a little smaller dowel. I got the same concept into this one, but I'll show you how I mic them up on this box. I got the piezo up here, glued up there, which amplifies the sound through vibration. Goes down to the jack down here, which has a capacitor on it to take the high squeal away as much as possible. See that? And a lot of people make these boxes so you can open them and store stuff in them. This is about the only one that I've ever done that to, because if you do that, you have to use the back side of the box, and that's just not pretty. But this thing was the first one I ever made, and it was a learning experience off this one. But this one has a really good deep tone, almost a really good acoustic sound. Other than that, it's pretty much the same mold as the other ones. This one I made this one about a week and a half ago, since the last time I was here. I got this box at the cigar shop again, and this one I kind of went the black and white route, just all black and white. The box black, I painted the neck black. Here's how I cut the neck. Just you kind of cut it there to give it that flat angle for the tuner to screw into, the hose clamp right there. You know, I painted that up to match. I got a hinge there to keep it closed. I can unscrew that and open it up to get into the electronics. My ever famous grommet. It's electric with the same piezo and 1/4 inch. It got white tuner knob or strap knobs on there instead of the chrome ones. And this is my latest one. I built one for a guy in a band in Norfolk, House of Chains from Norfolk. The guy's supposed to write a song based around the diddly bow, so I'm waiting for that. Can't wait to hear that. Okay, well, that concludes every diddly bow I brought with me. All I gotta say about a diddly bow is, when it goes back to the history of the diddly bow is pretty much, well, it is designed to be cheaply made and made out of things that you just have around the house. Like the string, you don't have to go buy a guitar string. 9 times out of 10, your dad or your brother or you yourself might have steel string around your house, like a broom wire or steel wire, that you can figure out a way with a screw to tighten it down to get the tension, to give it that sound. Use a soup can for amplification, if not a cigar box. There's ways you can amplify the sound. Like I said, there's videos online all over the place of diddly bows. What I'm not telling you, they can tell you, because there's so many videos. And now I'm going to play some more, because I think I've told you everything I know about diddly bows, other than just play them, build them, have fun. I mean, I started with a piece of junk when I first built my first one, but it was a learning experience. And a diddly bow is not made really to be the center of a band. It's not. I don't even know if it's meant to be in a band. I think it's meant to be just a solo instrument, because of the fact that you play a rhythm, not really, you play a rhythm on these things. You don't really play, you can play songs like Star Spangled Banner and shit, notes and stuff. But the best thing about a diddly bow is you can just get a fucking rhythm going, and just pluck away at a rhythm. That's the funnest thing about them, is that you can just get a rhythm going, instead of just trying to play these certain notes. Just find that sweet spot. What time we got, brother?